Good morning. We'll start with the exercise. So look at the palms of your hands. Tighten them. Tight. Tight. Feel the tension. Tight. Relax. Look at them again. Again, tighten them. Tight. 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 Relax. Last time. Tighten them. Tight. Tight. Feel the tension. Tight. Tight. Relax. Both the hands, somebody is pulling this hand in this direction, one in this. Pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Again pull tight, tight. Feel the tension, tight, tight. Relax. Last time, pull tight, tight. Feel the tension, tight. Relax. Right leg, toes toward the body. Pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Again pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Last time, tight, 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 tight. Relax. Left leg, pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Again pull tight, tight. Feel the tension, tight. Relax. Last time, pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Chest, breathe in, expand the chest. Expand the chest, tight, tight, tight. Relax. Again, breathe in, expand the chest, tight, tight. Feel the tension, tight. Relax. Last time, breathe in, expand, tight, tight, tight. Relax. Stomach, breathe out, pull in, breathe out, pull in, pull in, pull in, pull, pull, pull. Relax. Again, breathe out, pull in, pull, 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 pull. Relax. Last time, breathe out, pull in, pull, 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 pull. Relax. Whole body. On the toes. Pull tight, tight, tight. Relax. Again on the toes, pull tight, 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 tight. Relax. Last time, pull tight, tight. Feel the tension, tight. Relax. Do Svaiso. Breathe in from the nose, breathe out from the mouth, swinging the hands. Okay, now with the music.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Okay. First exercise, please down.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Deep chest breathing with the music.
1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6
Second
1
exercise.
2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6
Third, stretch the legs.
1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1
One
2
deep
3
breath
5
in 5 installments. Breathe out from the mouth forcefully. Okay. Fifth exercise. Breathe in 5, hold 5, breathe out 5, hold empty 5. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth exercise. Take a deep breath. Block the nose. Push the chin down into the hollow of the neck. Bring saliva in the mouth. Swallow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look up. Release. Again, take a deep breath. Block the nose, push the chin down, swallow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look up, release. One more time. Take a deep breath. Block the nose, push the chin down, swallow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look up, release. I will do 3, 2, 1 again. Third exercise.
1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6
Okay,
1
first
2 3
exercise.
5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1
Alternate
2
breathing.
3 5 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6
Okay.
1 2 3 5 6
Gold nugget. Hands below the navel. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Pull in. Pull in. Pull in. Breathe out. Pull in. Keep the breath out. Keep this pulled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep pulling in. Other hand here. Fast, shallow breathing. Okay. We'll do rhythmic breathing for a few minutes. Just normal rhythmic breathing. Yeah, straight. Straight. All breathing exercises neck straight. Right? Breathe with the music. 1, 2, 3 in, 5, 6 out. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Very relaxed. 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay. Any questions anyone has? Okay. We'll do Omkar 9 times. One more time. Okay. Any questions anyone has? Do the practice for the phase exercise, the movements.
Field practice with music variations. Phase 1. 3 minutes each step, normal, 36 cycles, 18 cycles and normal, followed by a posture as demonstrated.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Forward, up, pull, bend, back 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Up, pull, bend back 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
2, 3, 5, 6. 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay. Please practice this possibly for 10 minutes every day. These are just the movements. We'll go into the exercise next time. Okay.
Basically, it's like a rowing.
Rowing, yeah. Okay. Okay. So in rowing, when you hear, you have to make that extra pressure. Pull. You have to pull extra when you're rowing. Right? So here, it's like a pause. Then you bend this a little. Yeah, but you're pulling in the lower abdomen. Pulling in the lower abdomen, right? So to pull in, 6, 2, 3, pull in, 5, 6. Right? It's one movement, but everything will separate inside. Okay, now what do we want to do?
Can we do the exercise with the diabetic?
Yeah, sure. We take a deep breath, block the nose, push the stomach out and in. Okay. Do half a minute, then increase to 1 minute, slowly increase to 3 minutes. In. Block the nose. Right? You'll burn fat also. You have none to burn. I have a lot. Okay.
Can we do that Omkar which we do after 20 minutes?
Sure. We'll just do 5 first of Tibra, then we'll hold the sound after that. First we'll do full Omkar 5 times. Right? I'll just sit there, there's no problem. Yeah. Right. Okay. Again, take a deep breath. Try to take it as high pitched as possible. Just high pitch. One more time. Okay, now we'll try to hold the sound with the half moon. Right? Take a little breath and hold it again. Short breath. Short breath. Short breath. Okay. Yeah. Middle, yeah. Right, not the top of the tongue, not the tip of the tongue, the middle of the tongue. No, you're not doing anything to your tongue. Just the middle of the tongue is touching.
I know I'm doing something very wrong because my vocal cords every time that I do, and then it hurts all day long. All these parts.
You're not relaxing. You're giving too much tension.
So how do I do that?
There's one exercise for the vocal cords. HRR. is the singer's exercise where they train the vocal cords. Right? You clean the vocal cords. I know. Mine all filled up. Huh? Yeah. Okay. H. HR. HR. Oh, this will strengthen the vocal cords. Really strengthen the vocal cords. Right? So do it in front of a mirror. The tongue will vibrate. The tongue will vibrate. It's all filled up mind. Talking too much. Hmm. I called it as Shunting Mudra. This is like this. The right hand is on top like this. This is like this. It is here. And because the right hand is on top here, the left leg is on top over here. Right? And so this makes a complete circuit of electricity in the body.
Left is on top.
Left is out. Left is out. Yeah. Here right is out. So there's a complete circuit. So the electricity circulates through the nerves. Exactly like that. Middle finger of the left, yes. And this is the thumb over here, and this is the middle finger type. Middle finger. Huh?
So when we do the Omkar,
This mudra is a very powerful mudra because whenever you're doing this, the circulation is in one circuit. Otherwise, you're losing energy in any other mudra. Unless you know exactly how to do it, you're losing energy. In this, you cannot lose energy. The energy circuit.
So we can use the mudra when we're doing other pranayams?
Yeah, whenever you're this thing. This is the simplest mudra, which is like a general thing. You can use at any time. You see, the left leg on top, the right hand on top. The right hand on top. On top. Right. Then you're in a complete circuit. Okay. Shall we study digestion today? Digestion. Huh? Okay. Thank you. It's the food we eat, right? So the food we eat goes into the stomach. It is churned over there, and then it goes into the intestines, right? And the blood wraps around the intestines and starts extracting substances from the food we eat, right? So the first substance which is extracted is magnetism. Now, we are not going according to medical science. We are taking old yoga and putting it in modern language, right? Magnetism. What does this magnetism do? What does this magnetism do?
Something attract.
It holds together. It holds together. Now, many people come to me, they say that you say to visualize, but we cannot visualize. Why can't they visualize? What are they lacking? Magnetism. Something they are not digesting from the food. Please understand, I'm not talking about what is dietitian and all that, natural food and non-natural food or anything. We're talking about pure yoga, right? I'm not talking about what kind of food you're eating. It doesn't matter, right? Okay. Now, this magnetism is needed for conceptualization, right? I want to conceive something. You want to conceive this room, right? So, if you can't hold a thought, you will not be able to conceive this room, right? So you won't be able to plan it, that you want to build it in a certain way. So, this magnetism is very important. This magnetism also, it brings a kind of immunity. Now, not immunity as we understand, not immunity as we understand. What we understand in immunity is protection against disease. I'm not talking about protection against disease when I talk about yogic immunity, right? Supposing two people are sick, they have the same disease, but one is complaining all the time, right? And the other one is not bothered about his disease. He's still enjoying life. Both have the same disease. Can you see? I'm talking about that magnetism. Now you understand what I'm trying to say? This magnetism is very important. So the first thing that happens when we digest food is the first thing extracted from the food is magnetism. Right? The second thing, now just we go with the journey of the food. See, man is a three-storied factory, right? The thinking, the feeling, moving, sensing, sex. Three stories, right? Now, when we eat the food first goes into the middle story, right? Then we extract magnetism here and it goes into the lower story, which is the liver, in the liver. Now, the food in the liver meets, that is, now it is not food, it is in the blood. So it is the blood in the liver. It meets the blood which comes from the lungs. And they both mix together over there. And they start an upward journey to the brain. Right? To the brain. So the second substance extracted from food is motor electricity. Motor electricity. Right? This is the electricity which looks after all the conscious functions of the body. I'll send a message to my, what you call, joint over here, the muscles over here, that you please contract, and I lift the hand. So this message, the command comes from the brain. This is a motor function, a motor function. All thoughts are made out of this. This is the energy which goes into the making of thoughts. And which goes into the making of thoughts. Then the Food goes further in the brain, and it extracts reflex electricity. This reflex electricity takes care of all the automatic functions of the body. I put food in the stomach, right? But I don't have to decide how much of hydrochloric acid is needed to digest the food. The stomach, with its own intelligence, releases the hydrochloric acid, right? So all the automatic functions, right, the instinctive functions of the body are taken care of by reflex electricity. Also, all our feelings, emotions, reflex electricity. Now, we must understand that the speed of reflex electricity is much faster than the speed of, more than double, the speed of motor electricity, right? Then the food, it comes right down, it moves right down before the last extraction. It makes a big long journey from the brain right down to the bottom, and the last thing extracted from food is sex energy. Sex energy. Now, most of the sex energy in man is of a very, very poor quality. Right? Poor quality. Nor does sex perform its natural function, its real function in man. It is a very, what you call, misused, suppressed. So now we have to see that when the food goes down, it passes through this area of feeling before it can extract the sex energy. It has to pass through this area of feeling. So I may be a very angry person. So when I'm angry, I'm using which energy? I'm using this energy, reflex energy. I'm wasting which energy? Reflex energy. But at sometimes, if you've seen some people, I'm sure all of you have, their anger goes to a certain, what do you call, it takes a certain leap. And they are so angry, you cannot imagine that they are having. I'm sure all of you have seen this, right? So then, instead of the anger using this energy, it starts using this energy. This energy. Can you get what I'm trying to say? So they're wasting this energy. So by the time this reaches over here, there's not much left to extract sex energy. With the quality of life which we lead, right? The quality of life, this does not reach here, right? Okay, now is this clear to everyone till here? This is the digestion of food. Now we're going to go deeper into this.
What does the S stand for? The M is
Moving,
yes.
sensing, sex. Or you, in place of X, you can S, you can put I, instinctive. Instinctive. Hmm? They,
Regulated.
yeah,
The anger that's not, that's generated,
yeah,
and it's not properly pulled down to the side, is that
yeah.
like a different what
So it is not a sex rape. It is anger. Yeah, it is an animal form of anger. Yeah, right? Have you watched videos on National Geographic or anything? So when the lions and the what do you call hippopotamus and all of them they come into heat, then they will fight till death. No, they fight. It is that. They fight. Okay. Now let's now look at this from a different yogic point of view. The same thing. The same thing. Right? So again we'll start with food. So the food goes in, first thing we said was magnet. Second was motor electricity. Motor electricity. Now yoga says this motor electricity is of three kinds. They call it pran, apan, saman. Right? So yoga says that we said that we extracted the energy for thought. Right? We extracted the energy of thought. Right? So, but yoga says at a subtle level there are three different extractions which are also a part of motor electricity, but which now even in scientific language we cannot understand. You have to go to the yogic language to understand this. Right? Now, what do these do? What are their functions? What are their functions? Their functions. Come on, come on. Prana, apan, saman.
So function,
Very good.
function of prana,
Very good. Huh?
function of prana or all the three?
All the three. Function of prana. What is the function of prana? So, yoga says we eat food. Eat food. Science says that the food is digested by digestive enzymes, right? But yoga says that behind those enzymes there is a subtle energy. There's a subtle energy, and that is called as saman. It is called as saman. It is saman which digests the food. So you eat the food, it is saman which digests the food. See now, most of the books on yoga, that is why I've stopped reading books on yoga. They call this as saman vayu. It's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Even books written by people like Iyengar and right, it's absolutely wrong. So vayu is something totally different. This is not a vayu. This is a prana. Now, this prana is matter in molecular form. Vayu is matter in electronic form. Right? So both are very different things. But all the yoga books have messed up all this. So this saman, now again, it is motor electricity. It is motor electricity. When it is performing the function of digestion, it becomes saman. Can you get now what I'm trying to say? Saman is not the name of a prana. It is the name of a function. The prana is one. When it is performing this function, we call it as samana. Now you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So this samana, I eat my food, the prana is performing the function of digestion, it becomes samana. Once the food is digested, the food has to be taken to every cell of the body. Every cell of the body. When the prana is performing that function, we call it as prana. Prana. Once the food has reached every cell of the body, waste matter is produced in the cells of the body, and the prana brings that waste matter out and throws it out. When it is performing that function, we call it as apana. So we have three motor electricities: prana, apana, samana. Now, these three motor electricities, their functions are again regulated by the sun. Their functions are again regulated by the sun. So, in this, yoga and Ayurveda will differ. Yoga and Ayurveda will differ. Yeah.
certain level, if the sun has a role to play, then in darkness versus light, climatically, isn't there a impact?
See, there's a small gap here and there. I'm giving you a general outline.
No, man inhabits the tropics and it inhabits northern regions where there is daylight for a certain amount of time. I was just trying to understand it from that perspective.
Again, what I'm trying to say is there may be a 2-3 hour difference. You have to, I'm giving you a sort of outline. You try to understand it through that, right? When it's regulated by the sun, I'm not saying that where in the northern hemisphere it's like this, or in the tropics or the equator it's like this. It may change a little. I'm giving you a general thing to regulate your life, right?
Yeah, but in this big scheme of things, the ones in the north get sunlight for 18 to 24 hours.
I'm not talking about that sunlight. Can you see? I'm talking, the sun releases 16 different kinds of pranas. Can you understand? Right? Those don't come in any scientific instrument. It has a different way when those pranas are taken by the earth, directly from the sun. They don't come to us. The earth has 8 layers within it. It churns one clockwise, one anti-clockwise. Like we have different nadis within us going clockwise and anti-clockwise. The earth has different layers within it. And it churns this energy which it takes out of the sun and it releases it into the atmosphere. This releasing in the atmosphere changes every 1.5 hours. Right? So the energy which we are breathing in is not just oxygen. The prana is coming from the sun. Can you understand? The prana is not the same prana which the sun releases. The prana goes into the earth. The earth is a huge laboratory. It transforms that prana and sends it into the atmosphere. So when we are breathing, it's not just air. We are breathing air plus prana. It is that prana which has come from the sun directly. Can you understand what I'm trying? It is that which affects this. It's not sunlight or daylight.
Please,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a very valid point. The sunlight does come to the northern hemisphere and to the equator.
But what I'm trying to say, it is the earth releasing certain prana which affects this. It is regulated by the 16 pranas of the sun. It is not regulate. The sun is releasing those pranas even when there is night time. Can you understand? What we call as light is reflected light. It is the atmosphere taking the energy of the sun and reflecting it as light. Right? If you go out of the earth's atmosphere, the sun does not look the same way as it looks on the earth. Can you get what I'm trying to say? It looks different over there.
Even when it's night, the sun is shining on the other side of the earth.
Right. So it is releasing, it is these pranas which control this. Right. Now that is a very deep science, the 16 pranas of the sun. Right. It has, so many times a child is born stillborn. Nobody knows, the doctors don't know, they can't say why, they can't understand. But it is the prana of the sun which has made it stillborn.
So this very deep science is part of yogic science. It has not been understood by modern science.
It's not, I don't see another person today in India who understands it. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? It's a lost science. It's a lost science. I don't see any other person. I know one or two people who can explain this, but they don't want to. Right?
What is the reason behind it?
It's a lost science now. They don't want this to come out.
They have no interest.
No interest in
Share the knowledge.
No. And even when they share it, they will share it in riddles. So if a person is of that height, he'll be able to extract the knowledge from that. We don't want to go into all this. I want to finish something today. It's my last session, so I just want to finish something today. Right? Let us come back to where we are. Let us come back to where we are. So these will have certain fixed times of working, certain fixed times of working, right? So this will be from 12 to 8. This will be from 4 to 12. And this will be from 8 to 4. No, 12 is PM, yeah, right. Right, okay.
Rajen, now you have taken the yogic science, and this is on the here and now. Digestion of food at 12 to 8 means one should eat during the
One should eat one meal a day according to yoga, not according to Ayurveda. Yoga says that these are the times in which these act. These are the times in which these act. Yoga says that one prana must not overlap on another prana. It must be performing one function at a time. Can you get what I'm saying? So the idea is that from 4 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. in the afternoon, the body is throwing out waste matter. You can drink water, right, or something like that, but you cannot eat a heavy breakfast, right? Or you cannot eat anything actually. Then you eat one meal between 12 and 3 in the afternoon. 12 and 3 in the afternoon. Why? Because the food stays for nearly 3 to 5 hours in the stomach. So when you add plus 5 to 3, it becomes 8 p.m. Or you do not eat anything after 4 p.m. So if you add 3 to 4 hours to this, again it becomes 8 p.m. So the idea is that when the function of saman is being performed, These two are at rest. Now, supposing you eat a heavy breakfast between 4 a.m. and 12 p.m., then you're forcing this and this to work together. And that is why disease comes in the body. Now, this is the yogic point of view. That is why my teacher always said 24 hours, one meal, and each meal should be only 24 morsels for 1 hour, one for 1 hour of the day.
So this is wisdom that is tried and tested for you, period.
This is the wisdom of the yogis. The wisdom of the yogis. It has nothing to do with medical science. Medical science will tell you to eat 12 times a day, half a biscuit. Right? It has nothing to do with that. Medical science will change today, be different tomorrow. Right? Now, we said the food goes further. I'm not drawing that diagram again. And reflex electricity comes out.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
The part of the day that is prana, which you mentioned, is actually coinciding with the sleep hours, rest hours.
Yeah, so if you go to sleep in the night, then prana can take the food to every cell of the body. You wake up before around 4 a.m., so then now you're throwing out all the stuff.
So the sleep component therefore plays a very important role because you're getting the prana to actually send it out to all
See,
or the rest component.
all energy comes from the sun. All energy comes from the sun. Is there an energy which does not come from the sun?
I don't have an answer, but I'm curious to know what the moon provides if we're going into this area of conversation.
I don't have all that time to. Yeah. The moon I'll tell you, all food comes from the sun. But when the moon shines at night, right, it provides a very, very subtle energy. And that gives what we call vanaspati, that is the plant life. The plant life. It gives it the quality of aushadhi. So aushadhi comes from the moon. What will we call aushadhi in English? So the power of healing. So the plant has a power of giving me nutrition. That comes from the sun. But the plant has a hidden power of healing which I can extract from the plant. That comes from the moon. I don't want to go too much into all this.
That's plenty. That's plenty. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I want to finish this today. I'm running out of time now. Oh, okay. Now, so the reflex electricity, the prana extracted over here will be vyam. Vyam. Now, this is very, very important, this prana. Very important. And we don't exactly extract enough of this prana. Now, I'll try to. One, you use this prana, and one we use this prana. And we'll try to just understand the difference in both of them. We said that was the energy of thought. Now, you have a problem. or you have to take a decision, right? And you think about it, and you think this way, and you think that way, then which prana are you using? This. Prana apan saman. Prana apan saman. And you come to a solution, come to a decision. And when you make a decision, it is not a reaction, but it happens fast. You make a decision, and after, say, 10 days or 15 days, you realize, how did I make such a good decision? I never thought about it. Have you experienced this in life? Right? Which prana has made that decision? The Vyana. The Vyana, it has the power of perceiving in the present moment. Pran, Apan, Saman, they don't have the power of perceiving in the present moment. They have to use they have to use thought to perceive. I don't know if I'm coming across in this, right? So this is a very powerful prana, reflex electricity, and then we say it comes down to the sex energy. The final prana extracted is called Udan. Udan, right? My teacher used to call this Udan as the energy of genius. Energy of genius. It awakens certain capacities, which gives us the power of genius, right? Okay. Is this clear now to everyone? I won't go deeper into that. I want to just take one more thing. Now we'll take air, the air we breathe. The air we breathe, right? So we breathe in, goes into the lungs, right? And the lungs extract something from it. And it goes into the blood. The first thing we extract from air is magnetism. Magnetism. Again, this magnetism is of a much higher quality than the magnetism which comes from food, If our breathing is not smooth and our breathing is not rhythmic, right? If my breathing is always upset by this monkey up here because he chatters, right? Then my extraction of this magnetism will be very low, right? So first thing we extract is magnetism. Then we extract motor electricity. This motor electricity will give us much higher thoughts than the motor electricity which we extract from food, much higher thoughts, right? Man, for normal man, this is where nature stops. For normal man, nature stops over here. That is, from air we cannot extract which electricity? Reflex electricity, right? So the whole crowd of 5.6 billion people on this planet, they only breathe in up to here. They can get higher thought energy, but they cannot get higher emotional energy. Now, when we practice three-step rhythmic breathing, the rhythmic breathing which we are talking about, we overcome this point, right? And the breathing now is digested further. The breathing that is why it's very important to practice this rhythmic breathing. The breathing is digested further. See, even if there are 84 pranayams. Even if you perform a pranayam, when you're performing the pranayam, you may digest a little further. But the minute you stop the pranayam, the digestion will stop because this monkey is going to take over. Right? So it is only through three-step rhythmic breathing, if you're breathing all 24 hours in the rhythm, that you're continuously moving this digestion of air forward and you extract reflex electricity, right? And this reflex electricity, it gives us the power of positive emotions. Positive. Man does not have the power of positive emotions. Everything he calls as a positive emotion is nothing but positive thought, right? The thought for the day, positive. But he does not have positive emotions. Positive emotions can only come when we digest the air further, further, right? So then we see it goes on to make sex energy. The sex energy which we get by the digestion of air is of a very different quality from the sex energy which comes from food. The sex energy which comes from food is prone to excitement. Is prone to excitement. I see something good in the shop. Oh, I have to buy this. Can you understand? It gets excited very easily. The sex energy which comes out of air cannot be excited. It remains in a certain balance inside. And when that happens, the possibility of Kundalini arises. Till then, there is no possibility of Kundalini. With the sex energy which we take out from food, if you start doing Kundalini practices, you're going to mess up. Right? Because everybody who is teaching Kundalini is teaching wrong, absolutely wrong. They haven't got their basics correct as yet. Right? So the first and most important thing is that we don't want to do Kundalini with the sex energy which comes from food. We want to do it with the sex energy which comes from air, and that no human being is extracting that. He has to breathe in a different way to extract that. And now, am I clear on this point? But when we digest the air further, we get one more energy. And so this is the energy of death. The energy of death. We get the capacity to experience death in the physical body. Then death is not death. No, death is not death. Right? So, see, we extract the energy of death. Now try to understand. Death and life go together. At a certain dimension there is death, at a certain dimension there is life. Right? So it is in the death of millions and millions of sperm cells that a new life can be created. Science only sees that one cell which reaches. Right? It doesn't see that energy of death is being created at a lower dimension, at the dimension of the cell, where millions of cells have to die for that one to reach. So sex and death are very, very interconnected with each other. In one, something from the invisible comes into the physical. And in another, something from the physical disintegrates and goes back to the invisible. So it is these are the two energies which connect different dimensions of time and space. The energy of death and the end. That is why it's very important to practice this rhythmic breathing. How many new substances do we get? 1, 2, 3. Just by practicing, which no normal man gets these 3 substances just by practicing this rhythmic breathing. Right? Now we'll go a little deeper into this. There's one more extraction. Oh, right? And this is all this what we have talked till now is matter in a molecular form. When we do the Gayatri mantra, we say Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. Bhu is the cellular matter. Now, Bhuva is the molecular matter. Now, today we've got a more deeper understanding of the Bhuva world, the molecular world, right? Which we extract from the food we eat, the air we breathe, right? So deeper understanding. But there is one more world which is called Swaha, the electronic world. The electronic world. Matter. Something which is a little dimension different. I'm looking at you, you are cellular. But inside I'm saying friend or enemy is molecular. So we have that friend or enemy is a thought. It is an emotion. So today we went through all the molecular matter concerning thought and emotion, which we extract from two things, the food we eat and the air we breathe. Now is it clear? Right? Now, normal man, not the one who's performing three-step rhythmic breathing, or right? He extracts three electronic substances from the air he breathes. These are called as pranvayu, apanvayu, and samanvayu. He also sometimes crosses the barrier from motor to reflex. Motor to reflex, right? Sometimes he is breathing beautifully when he goes to sleep at night. I'm growing old. We didn't. Which energy does not come from the sun? Which energy does not come from the sun? Yeah, I said all energy comes from. Is there an energy which does not come from the sun?
We just talked about the energy we're getting from
Yeah, but that also comes from the sun. All the prana comes from the sun. All the atmosphere comes from the sun. Everything is from the sun. What does not come from the sun? What does not come from the sun? Huh? Yeah. So when in deep sleep, the soul goes into the spirit. It goes back into the spirit. So when we wake up in the morning, the soul comes back with the energy of the spirit. Right? This is one energy which only man has. Plants don't have it, animals don't have it. Only man has this energy. When he goes, his sleep is different from the sleep of an animal. His sleep is different from the sleep of a plant. Right? So when he goes to sleep, his soul goes and meets the divine and comes back with the divine energy. That is not from the sun. Who does not have this divine energy? Who does not have this divine energy? Nature. Nature. How does nature get this divine energy? How does nature get this divine energy? She makes us, she traps, she throws the, what you call net, and the fish is caught in the net, right? She insults me, and I get angry. The minute I get angry, what I have in the night, the pocket money which I have got from the divine inside, I throw it out, and who takes it? Nature takes it. I think she has insulted me. I cannot see that nature has thrown a trap because she wants this energy. It is this energy which she uses to bring intelligence in certain parts of nature, right? But she doesn't. So we by 12 o'clock everybody is bankrupt. By 12 o'clock everybody is bankrupt. They've thrown it out because nature has thrown some trap in the morning and they've thrown it out. The minute they react, they throw out this energy. It is a very rare person who has some energy, cash balance left when he goes to sleep at night. By then, otherwise everybody by 12 o'clock is bankrupt. If he has some cash balance left when he sleeps at night, then from tomorrow something new will awaken. A new kind of storage capacity will start working in him because now he needs something to store that energy. Like you now bought some new clothes, so you have to buy a new cupboard to, what do you call, keep those clothes. Similarly, now you're holding a new energy, and then you want to store that in a proper place. So you need a new storage thing, and that will be created within the body brain system, right? But that is if we can carry forward. We don't carry forward. Okay, now these are vayus, and man normally he also creates a certain amount of Vyan vayu. Vyan vayu. Because they are given the same names as prana, we get confused. Because the names are the same, but they are totally different substances. The pranas are substances in which form? Which form? Molecular form. The vayus are substances in electronic form. Now is it clear? Now let us see how these work. How these work. Yesterday we talked about something called darshan. Darshan. I see you, what is the process of seeing? What goes into the science of seeing? So you are broken down into electromagnetic impulses. Those impulses flow through my 5 senses. So when I look at you and you are broken down into those impulses, who brings those electromagnetic impulses inside? Who is the postal service? They flow through the senses, right? But they are brought from here somewhere outside, right? And they flow through the senses and are recreated in the screen of the mind, right? But who brings them inside? Who is the carrier? It is the pran vayu which carries, because these, I'm looking at you, this is now prana in an electronic form. Electronic form. I'm breathing air, it is prana in a molecular form. Now you understand what I'm trying to say. Now once the impulse comes inside, it meets the memory. The memory meets the impulse, right? Both meet. And who decodes? What's your name? Jyoti. So you come inside as a different electromagnetic impulses. On the screen of the mind, I see your picture, right? And from the memory, I decode it. This is Jyoti, right? This is the process happening every second, right? So this decoding is done by Vyan Vayu, right? After the decoding, there is a resultant. There is a resultant. Okay, now I've got ahead. One point I forgot. The memory is lying in a certain area of the brain. The memory is lying in a certain area of the brain. Who brings that memory out? Saman. Memory, Saman means identical. Memory which is identical to that which has come in. This is Jyoti. Now you understand how the thought was created. The thought was created by Pranvayu, Samanvayu, and the decoding by the Vyanvayu. This is how thoughts are created inside. Right? Once the decoding is done, say, oh, Jyoti is my friend, let's shake hands. The order is given to whom? Upon Vayu, it goes to my hands and I shake your hand. This is how the inner process works through these four Vayus. Four Vayus. And to decode with higher and higher intelligence, man needs more and more of Vyan Vayu, which he does not have. Which he does not have. Supposing he sees a beautiful sunset, he stops for that moment. In that, a little Vyan Vayu is created. Is this now clear? Right? I look at you, you come inside, memory comes, there is a decoding, a thought is created. All this is done by these Vayus inside, because this is all matter in an electronic form. Now, when we practice the rhythmic breathing, when we practice pranayama, different pranayamas, we increase our quantity of Vyan Vayu. We increase the quantity of Vyan Vayu. Right? This Vyan Vayu, then it starts getting stored at different centers in the body. Right? It first starts getting stored at different centers near the organs of action. Organs of action. Then it goes to the centers, organs of perception, the 5 sense organs. Can you see? Now this Vyan Vayu has the power of decoding. Power of decoding. Now let us see one mechanical action and one conscious action. Right? I see her, so she comes in by Pranvayu. Pranvayu. I decode her by Vyanvayu, and first the memory comes. The memory comes is Samanvayu. I decode her, Vyanvayu. Right? In the decoding, I say she is my enemy. Right? So Apan Vayu sends a message to my hand, take a stick and hit her. Right? Take a stick and hit her. Right? Now, this is normal. But now that I've been practicing pranayama, I'm practicing different breathing techniques. Some Vyan Vayu has come and stored near some centers at my organ of action, the hand. So from here, I get a reaction, I want to hit her, but the hand says, no, it decodes the decoded impulse. Can you now understand? It decodes the decoded impulse. The minute it decodes the decoded impulse, this apan impulse which is going to the hand, what does it become? What does it become? A prana. It becomes a prana impulse. It gets decoded again by the Vyan which is lying in the center over here. My hand calms down, I don't want to hit you. And it sends an apan impulse. Now the impulse has to go somewhere, the apan. So there is nothing to hit you with now. There's just understanding. So this apan impulse goes down to the sex center, right? And we have how many sex energies? Two. One from food, one from air. Two sex energies. Let's call them S1, S2, right? And it hits these sex energies. The minute the apan impulse hits these sex energies, they are transformed into an Udan Vayu. And this Udan Vayu rises up my backbone. This is called the rising of Kundalini. This Udan impulse, it rises. Udan means to fly. It rises up my backbone, taking consciousness to all the brain centers. Suddenly I'm conscious of the whole situation. How can I hit another person? Can you understand? It is the rising of the Kundalini. Now, because I had decoded, I have to hit her. I have to hit her. That one anger died. That one anger died. That I explained 2 days ago. Right? So the Saman Vayu, which brought that anger from the memory pool, it does not have to take it back. So that Saman Vayu is free. That Saman Vayu brings equanimity. I'm so at peace. I'm so at pause. So there's a rise of conscious from down to up consciousness, and there's a falling of equanimity. I come into a very good equilibrium and poise, right? This is called the rise of the Kundalini. It is because of the vayus which are there inside within us, right? So I wanted to take this, the digestion of food, the digestion of air, and what does it mean for the rising of the Kundalini? Okay, if there are any questions, I'll stop over here.
So what happens to people that have Alzheimer's, for example, and that decoding process is
Pardon?
people that have Alzheimer's, for example, and that decoding process is all messed up.
Yeah.
Is that at what level does that begin?
No, Alzheimer's is a physical, cellular problem. It's a cellular problem. Something plaque has covered certain nerves, certain what you call cells in the brain. They're not allowing them to function. So at a higher level, they may be functioning, but they cannot function at a lower level.
So that cellular deterioration
Hmm.
then prevents all these other mechanisms.
Sure, definitely. That is why we try to keep the body in good health. You know, the top scientist in the world who is working on Alzheimer's. And this I've got from a person who works next to him. He's his assistant. And he comes for my lectures many times. And they have now found out that 1 gram per body weight of cinnamon with honey prevents Alzheimer's. Or not only that, but in rats it has brought them back. But they cannot still publish their papers for another 2-3 years. They have to, so many small things have to be so that scientist who's working on Alzheimer's, every day he takes 1 big teaspoon of cinnamon with honey every day, right? Because it's his own research that it reverses Alzheimer's, right? So you can do that. 1 gram per body weight. The only problem in cinnamon is there are 2 kinds of cinnamon in the market. One is the Ceylon cinnamon, which is of very good quality, and the other is the Chinese cinnamon, which has flooded the market, right? And the Chinese cinnamon has a very high level of a substance called coumarin, and that destroys the liver. So you should not buy the Chinese cinnamon. It may be cheaper, it may even look better, I don't know. Right? So you have to tell the, huh?
Do they have labels in this?
No, you have to tell the shopkeeper that you get me only Ceylon cinnamon.
Ceylon is from Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka, yeah, sorry, Sri Lanka cinnamon.
So the air and food, energy sources, and how to deal with impulse. If it was only food, then the impulse is stronger. I'm just trying to paraphrase if there is energy trapped from the air, breathing, then you can control the impulses. That one takeaway.
There is sex energy from food. That sex energy from food is of a very low quality, right? It is prone to excitement. When sex energy in yoga is termed as calm, it is not termed as sex energy, right? So calm means desire, right? I desire, I see a new shirt in the shop, right? So my sex energy gets excited. Attention goes to the shirt. And I say, no, I cannot live without this shirt, right? So I'm identified with that shirt. What has gone? Sex energy. Come. Can you get? Because I can't hold on to that sex energy. There are different mudras in yoga to hold on to the sex energy in such a situation, right? Now, the energy which comes out of the air, the sex energy which comes out of the air, I see this shirt over there, but this shirt cannot excite that energy. Can you get it? So that is why that energy is very, very.
Thank you. So the same example carried to when you are insulted as opposed to desiring.
It's the same thing, all reactions.
That's what that's where
I want to give it back to her.
correct.
It's a desire.
That's it. I called it impulse.
Hmm.
And so the impulsive reaction being negated and therefore not reacting at that moment to a comment or an insult is what I was trying to do.
For that, that is why three-step rhythmic breathing is very important. Very, very important.
So at that moment when you're
React.
yeah,
You
so
react.
when you react, how does one cope with that? We are living in a country today, whether it's here or India, the two reference points for me. There are cultural differences. So there is an ability to perceive something different. For example, a joke on food here is something different than a joke on food that my culture has taught me. I probably will not insult someone on their food habits because I have accepted that food is, whether it's vegetarian or non-vegetarian, it doesn't matter. So if your rhythmic breathing is not exalted and you are in a situation where there is an insult on food and they consider it a joke, how does one? I mean, I know what I have to do, but I'm raising that as a question or as a context. It's not just about desiring a shirt. This is about very specifically conversation centered around food. Right? I may prefer to eat by hand, and the other person wants to make a joke out of it.
See, first of all, try to understand it's not about what. It's are we making an effort for freedom from reaction? It doesn't matter whether the reaction is over this or over that. That is the instrumental cause. The reaction is lying within me is the material cause. I want to be free of the material, right? Food, culture, whatever it is the instrumental cause. It has nothing to do with the material lying inside of it, right? We want to be free of that material. And that it goes for all reactions. All reactions. So we want to make that effort. And the only way is to pause inside, to statue. Just as there is a way of statue, where we play statue of the body, we statue in the mind. So something has to remind us at that moment, right? That, okay, this is not my aim in life to react. My aim in life is to be free of reaction. If I react just now, I'm going to waste energy. If I react just now, then the material, the pattern inside, the sanskar of reaction will become more powerful. Can you understand? I'm going to react more in life. This understanding comes. So at the moment of reaction, I try to pause. Now the reaction is up here. So I hold the last thought. Just as we hold the last pose in statue, we hold the last thought inside. The thought will go. Other thoughts will come, but I say no to them. Right?
You had a Zoroastrian master and a guru. So in the Parsi community, they want to do chavi. They call it chavi. So they want that reaction. And so how do you pause is the quest for someone like you. Because I have some Parsi friends and they're jokingly doing it. I can take that joke because I come from that part of the world. So I understand now that they are in a way doing a chavi, right? But when it's not done in jest or in a joking way and someone is provoking you, so what you're saying is
again, you're talking again about the instrumental cause.
No, I'm talking about the pause factor. I'm coming to the pause factor.
But again, you're talking about it is the value of the pause, the value of being free of reaction. See, if I value these exercises, I will do these exercises every day. Value comes from the heart. Knowing comes from the mind. Can you understand? I know these exercises. Then there will be gaps. But just as if I'm very, very tired, I can't move an inch, but my girlfriend says, "No, you sit on the garden bench and catch my hand the whole night." I won't go to sleep. I'll catch her hand the whole night. After marriage, I'll go to sleep. Right? Before marriage, I'll catch her hand the whole night. Because I value. Can you understand? I value. Value comes from the heart. Right? So, these exercises, we've learned these exercises. Do I value being free of reaction? Do I value rising in consciousness? Then I'll do anything for it. When I met Mr. Tavaria for the first time, I realized, okay, this is what I want. I was willing to sacrifice everything for it. Can you understand?
Even though you were married.
Yeah, he told me, you stay here and your wife will stay there. And we agreed on that between both of us. We agreed on that. I had a small child, but we agreed upon that because I knew he is here for only so much of time and only he can give me what I want. And I said, I got to have it. There's value. So, whether the value comes from the heart, you see, it's not something you think about, right? You know you want it. There is no choice in the matter. The perception is clear. I did not have to choose. I knew I wanted this, and that's it. Right? And for that, I was willing to sacrifice everything else, my work, my family, everything. Luckily, there was an understanding between me and my wife, so I did not have to sacrifice family. Right? But it's what you value. Right? So, do you value putting her right? Then I'll get angry and put her right. If I can. Maybe she's a karate master, I can't. Right? Huh? But if I can, I'll put her right. But then I don't value being free of reaction. I don't value consciousness. My only aim in life is to be free of reaction. Then I value it. Then it does not matter whether what chavi she does to me, whether it is non-veg chavi, vegetarian chavi, what kind of chavi, what difference does it make to me, right? For me, the minute she does that chavi, the anger comes out, and I say, this material is my material. I want to be free of this, because as long as I am hypnotized by this material which comes out, I am going to react. And as long as I'm react, I'm leading a mechanical life. My aim is to lead a life of consciousness. And I have only so much time in my life to do it. If I'm 63, then how much more time? And try to understand time. Time is not so easy to understand. When we are children, in 1 hour we can do so much. When I'm 63, in 1 hour I can only do so much. All of us have experienced this, right? We feel by the end of the day, so many things have been left out, right? So time is not the same. 1 hour of childhood is not 1 hour of old age, right? Time deceives us. Can you understand? It is the biggest illusion. I have enough of time. We don't have enough of time. Because time is very short. And you have to value this. And it happened with him that 3 weeks before he left the body, I was walking on my feet. The inner light had opened. I did not need another light from outside. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Right? I did not need the master any longer. I was walking on my own. Right? But that was because of the inner, what do you call? I just wanted it. You have to. That is.
By the way, I listened to a short segment. I think in the last 3 years, this is the first time I was able to hear live recording of Baba. He has an incredible sense of rhythm.
Oh, he was very humorous. Very, very humorous. Bolo. Yeah.
So you were explaining to us that when we react, that goes into nature.
No, in the night, your soul, which is residing here, goes into the spirit, which is staying over here, comes back with the finest energy of the universe, and I react on you, and it goes into nature.
Yes.
Hmm.
But that is true for bad reactions and good reactions. Like, for example, when I catch myself, I decode and I say, no, I am not going to.
Yeah, so you've saved something.
But does any of that good go into nature? Is any of that? See, you were explaining to us that nature does not.
Nature wants to rob us. Nature wants to cheat us. Right? We want that energy for our growth, not for nature's growth. But nature has no source. Nature has to get everything from the sun. Nature has no source. Only man has a spirit inside. Nature does not have a spirit. The animal does not have a spirit. The plant does not have a spirit. So nature has no source to give it that energy. Only she can get it from man. So she makes her insult me. Right? I think she is insulting. This clashing of two egos. Because I can't see beyond the ego. Right? I can't see that it is not her. She is just an instrument of nature. And the minute I get angry on her, I throw out all that I have, the most valuable stuff I have. And nature says, thank you. She doesn't even say thank you. Saying, poor blessed soul.
But if I don't react and I don't hit her, that
goes back inside. Goes back inside, and then you make a carry forward. Now your business is doing well. You have a carry forward balance. You're not in negative balance when you go to sleep at night. It's a different business. Now there is a very, very high tantric technique. You heard of tantra? Tantric technique. Very, very high. It's the last thing the master teaches to the disciple. And that is cheating nature. Cheating nature. When you build a factory or something, you go to the bank for a loan. And the bank says, okay, I'll take 6 months to give you this loan. Right? So then you say, oh, but what do I do in between 6 months? So the bank gives you a small bridging loan. It gives you a bridging loan, okay, to take care of you for 6 months. Right? Now, nature is also very clever. Now, I get angry on her. Before I express the anger, or even before the anger has become a thought, the anger is somewhere. The anger is somewhere, right? Can you understand? And the anger is trying to manifest, and nature knows before I know that I'm going to get angry. Get it? Before I get angry, nature knows I'm going to get angry. She knows here the gold is coming, right? So nature, she's frightened. She's frightened. She feels insecure. Nature says, supposing he does not get angry, like you said, I calm down like this. So nature is frightened of that. I become positive, like you said just now. So nature gives a bridging loan. You know the bridging loan, right? So she gives us some energy, and that pushes us to become angry. Then she gets all the energy. Can you get it? That energy is a beautiful energy, which is the highest energy of nature. Consciousness is the highest energy of the divine. The highest nature does not have that conscious energy. She has essence of consciousness, right? So she gives us that little energy. Now the idea is that she insults me. I know I'm good, and I trick nature. I bring the anger right to my mouth, and then I take it back. So she gives me a little energy, and then I say goodbye. I take that energy, bridging loan, and I go back. But this is you have to be very, very conscious and very good to do this. It's a very high technique, very, very high technique, right? That you allow yourself to act in anger in such a way that you're on the verge of becoming angry, but you're in total control. Nature gives you the energy, and then you take that energy and go. Right?
So you're willing to walk to the edge. Right.
But that is a very, very high technique. Yeah, the master teaches sometimes these techniques. The very grudge is an open wound, sir. You're throwing pus in your system and you're wasting the best psychic energy you can have. I've not talked about psychic energy, but you're wasting that energy every moment by holding any grudge. And by holding a grudge over here, you're thinking about it all the time. And when you're thinking about it all the time, you're sowing a seed which is going to bring suffering in the future in any form. Not worth it. Throw it away.
So what is ether?
The Akash Tattva. Shall I stop over here? So we meet at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Right? Thank you.
Thank you. 1 minute.